Today we will be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 and the possibilities of it actually being an open world game. If you did not beat Final Fantasy VII Remake or the original Final Fantasy VII, there may be some spoilers ahead. That was your warning, so let's hop into it. So recently I have actually beat the original Final Fantasy VII. I actually started playing that after I beat and platinumed the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And after I started playing... Well, when I started playing the original again, I actually was left off right at the end of Midgar. So kind of at the end of Remake, I continued my story through the original game. Now, once you leave Midgar, it is a whole nother world. It's a very open world. And I feel like they are going to set up the second game to be an open world game. And because of that, I mean, it could happen, but I feel like it's going to still be somewhat linear. We've seen this before, though. A massive open world with Final Fantasy when they released Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 was like the first huge open world Final Fantasy game that was released. Most of the other ones were sort of open, you can travel back and forth, but it wasn't a huge immersive open world to Final Fantasy. And I think I've heard somewhere, I haven't really completed or played 13, but I heard 13 was actually a very linear game, and it felt like Final Fantasy VII Remake was kind of linear. You can travel back and forth between different sectors, but it wasn't as open as 15 was when I was playing that. When you leave Midgar, it is an open world. It's huge. You can travel between different towns and cities and all kinds of great places. You can meet new characters. You can do so much things and side quests in the original game. But we've seen with the remake that they know how to take something very small, because Midgar was very small part, I don't even think it was 1/3 of the actual original game, but we've seen that they could turn that into a 45-hour plus experience, depending on how you play the game and on how, you do the side quest and if you do the end game content. And it also gives it a big, huge replay value with certain quests you have to do a second playthrough with. So, I was thinking, I don't think that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, or just Remake 2, will be a complete open world because of how the story has to be somewhat linear. But then I thought about how in certain, places you have to leave one spot, go to the next spot, go back to this spot, for certain quests in the original game. And if they made this world open world, that would be amazing. In Final Fantasy 15, you get the Regalia. You could basically upgrade that to, be off-road or even fly. And that was a very cool, thing to do in such a huge open world. If they do something like this with 7, it wouldn't, of course, be that. There's a bunch of different vehicles that you could actually use in the original Final Fantasy 7, with it being a big, like, dune buggy looking car. There's a point where you get a submarine. You also get the Highwind, Cid's Highwind, that you can fly in. I didn't do much of the side quest or anything with the original 7. I wanted to kind of go through the story and beat the story, because Remake actually pushed me to play that and actually beat it this time around. And I actually enjoyed the story. It was a very good story. The gameplay, it's kind of hard to go from games nowadays back to something like that. I can tell you now, it is a masterpiece. If you have not played the original 7, go ahead and play that. It is an amazing experience because, especially if you played Remake, you learn to love these characters. And when I went to 7, it was, the original 7, I had a better experience now that I could connect with these characters a lot more. And I know that might sound, different or cheesy coming from somebody that, plays a lot of these games. It just took me a very long time to actually go through 7, even though I love the characters to death. It was just, I knew the story from YouTube. I just wanted to actually get that experience. But with that being said, I think that with that world being as big as it was on the PS1, they shouldn't have a problem with making, part 2 an open world experience. But with open world experiences, that kind of, takes some time. It takes a lot of time to build a world like that and actually, add all the stuff that, especially that, like, we've gotten in 15. We've got so many side quests in 15. A lot of it was kind of pointless side quests, like, here, go kill this enemy and bring me this, or, hey, go check this out. But doing them certain side quests had me doing something, and I really enjoyed that. Some people don't like that. I kind of do. It keeps you doing something in the game. I kind of hope that 7 Remake Part 2 will be open world. I just don't think that it's going to be as open as 15 was. But hopefully we do see some sort of, open world aspect like that. So, I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think we are going to have an open world Final Fantasy VII? Do you think it's going to be as linear as it was for the original Midgar section? Or do you think it might be as massive as Final Fantasy 15? I really want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't played 15, I would, do so, especially while you're waiting for part 2 of 7. It's not a bad Final Fantasy. Some people love it, some people hate it. I, in particular, I really actually love the game. So, yeah, that is basically my thoughts and opinions on if the second part of Final Fantasy VII Remake will be open world or not. Thanks for checking out our video today. Remember to leave this video a huge like, subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, if you want to join the Wayfinders Union cross groups, you can do that by hitting our Discord link down below to the Wayfinders Discord. That is for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I know this is an off-topic thing, but it's still Final Fantasy related. If you do want to join our group, though, our Discord link is down below. Once you're in there, you can, we can set you up in one of our groups. But if you don't play Union Cross, you can still join, talk about Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts there. If you do want to check out any of the Wayfinders YouTube channels, all of their channels are linked down below as well. My Patreon is linked down below if you want to donate to the channel. And also, if you want to purchase any of our merch, that is at maryleroy.com, also linked down below. If you do purchase any of the merch, be sure to send us a picture of you wearing it or just having it with you so that we can repost that and show our appreciation to all of you that support our channel. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and let your hearts be your guiding keys. Bye.